Hello and welcome to Hell, or as it's better known, FE6 Hard Mode Chapter 14, Armors Solo, or Armors Only, though this map is basically a Boars Solo, because I didn't bother deploying Wendy or Barth because they'd have one movement and get killed by the Berserker reinforcement bosses. You'll notice I'm resetting the game a lot. That's called the, I guess it's called, well, I don't know what it's called, it's just the Desert Item Manipulation, where you reset the game, check a unit's stats, and then you're guaranteed to pick up a desert item. You can try it yourself. It works. It's reliable. Just don't check anything else. Just open their stats, exit, and hover over the item, grab it, set, and do it again. Also, the support's kind of funny. It's all being like, wow, you're too easy. Turns me off. I guess Saul's like that. It's a weirdo, but yeah, this map is pretty difficult. It took me about 4. I don't really know the exact amount of time it took me to get a proper take, but basically on a timer before the Berserker bosses show up. I think Boars could take them on in theory with good RNG, because they wouldn't have much hit on them, but they would have chances to kill them, because one of them has like a Devil Axe. They both have 26 strength. It'd be extremely risky. And it'd lose us time. We have to beat this map within 25 turns in order to get 14x. And since we are going for the true ending, which hopefully we can get, I don't see why we wouldn't be able to if we can get past this chapter, but yeah. We need something really annoying about this map is that desert tiles give 5 avoid. 5 avoid isn't a ton, but it's just enough to make me feel like whenever I miss something, it might be because of the desert avoid. Probably not, but you never know. 5 and true hit is a decent difference. Like the difference between an 85 and an 80, and so on. But yeah, all the enemies in this map, there are a handful of them that are set to just charge from the beginning. Most of them are set to start moving if they can get to you in 2 turns, and then there's some that don't move until you're in their range. It's pretty annoying having to figure out which AI is like what, so on. It does get on your nerves. Also, there's a Silence Priest and a Sleep Bishop. I brought restores on both Ellen and Saul, just to eliminate the possibility of something annoying happening. You get Cecilia, who's probably going to be deployed on a few maps, because she's good. Sea Staves, mounted healer. And Sophia obviously is never getting deployed again, because her stats are bad. I can't promote her to heal, she can't attack. But you do need her to survive until the end of this chapter in order to get the 14x. At least I think you do. Pretty sure you knew. You at least need her to get the guiding ring. Which, this is kind of off topic, but I think it's kind of dumb when people try and argue, Sophia's a really useful unit. She gets you a guiding ring. Like, oh, okay, I guess Roy is the best unit in FE6 because he's the only one who can seize. That's my counter-argument, but yeah, Sophia's bad. Sophia's bad. I don't know why she joins at level 1 with awful bulk. She gets one shot by everything. She has 50 hit on everything. But everybody knows that by now. It's nothing new. But yeah, the Berserkers spawn on turn 7 or 8, I believe. They spawn from the south. Berserkers have 3 movement in desert tiles, so they do catch up fast. Armors have 1 movement. Desert costs them 3 points of movement. So even generals have 1 movement until you give them boots, in which case they can walk at a slow but way faster than before pace. This bishop's pretty dodgy. Not a big fan. Let's dodge. It's whatever. The Manicheets in this map, they're all stationary. None of them are threatening, because they just stay in their zones. So they do hit like a truck if you do aggro them, but there's no reason to aggro them. Unless you accidentally do it while trying to get warp like I did. So warp is in the bottom right corner of the map. It's not a big deal. Melody's very tanky since I promoted her. She'll probably be one of the most useful units in this run, Melody. Just because she's a fairy bot who can take multiple hits. Get doubled. Very good unit. Like, Shauna's very good. She's the early game fairy bot. She can take a hit until Tate comes along. She's the, I guess, chapters 11 to... Really, she's only the best fairy bot for like 2 chapters, but... And then Melody comes and 1-ups her. Though, I brought all 3 flyers for this map. So, they're all useful. It's not like one's better than... Yeah, there are 2 groups of mercenaries with a hero. This is the first group, and then there's a second group closer to the entrance. The walled-in area with the boss. The boss is a bit annoying. He has 18 speed, which means boars will never be able to double him. He's a light brand. Light brand isn't scary in this game. It always deals 10 damage at 2 range, though I'm not going to 2 range him. So instead he's going to be doing 0 damage to me. Because in 1 range it doesn't do magical damage, unlike other games. I think in FE8 it hits res, even in 1 range. Though I might be wrong, not exactly positive. But yeah, we're actually moving at a decent pace because I got a crit on the hero earlier. If I didn't, I'd have had to spend a whole other turn dealing with him. Which would have been bad, and we probably would have lost in the end because I barely make it through. But I think boars for being a god and actually critting when we need him to. Luck. Apt luck. That's the most avoid possibly have on a general. Wendy can have 2 more avoid than him because her speed cap is 22. I wonder if that'll actually matter. I wonder just how many 18 attack speed bosses there are in this game. I mean, here's one of them, though the only way to have one of the armors double them is if you hold off on promoting boars, instead opt to grind Wendy. Which, I mean, no. Why would I ever want to do that? Probably be useful for this map, maybe. Be about it. But yeah, that group of wyverns, they're a part of the group I talked about earlier. Their AI is set to start moving when they can get to you within 2 turns. A lot of people think they have group AI. No, that's not the case. I don't think there's a single instance of enemies in this game having, like, group AI, where if you aggro one, you aggro the other. It's just that they're placed so that, usually, when you aggro one of them, you'll also be in range to aggro the other. But, yeah, that's usually when people think, oh, it's a group that all move together. No, it's just their AI is set to start moving when you're within two movements distance. There, I was just looking up, making sure where all the desert items were. And whenever you see a semi-long pause, it's usually me looking up, like, okay, where are the enemies? Where are the desert items? But yeah, there's probably like 30 brigands on the map by now. It's insane. It's pretty dumb. They just keep spawning every single turn. Thankfully, if we didn't have the silver axe, I'd probably be forced to either have saved a silver lance or burn Armad's uses on wyverns. So I'm really thankful to the silver axe. Yeah, that pause was just me checking enemies. There's probably a smarter way I could have done this, but because there's a brigand, a mage, and a wyvern in range. Or not a wyvern, a manakete. If all three hit, Melody would die. But the Melody has what, like 40-ish avoid? I think the brigand has about 70-ish hit. So I opt to just go ahead and get set to do the RNG manipulation to always pick up desert items. Yeah, he has exactly 70 hit. So, logically speaking, all three of them should not hit. The Manakete is almost guaranteed to hit, because Dragonstone has like 100 hit or something crazy. The Mage has a decent chance of hitting, and the Brigand should not hit. Yep, Manakete hits, Mage misses, Brigand misses. So I did get pretty lucky there, but even if I got the expected result, she wouldn't have died. You could still call me stupid for going for that. I wanted to get the work as soon as possible. Yeah, here I'm in a bit of an awkward spot because either Maggie or Rose, whichever Berserker that is nearing my squad. And really, Randy, you think you can even do damage to boars? Goof. Imagine that. Yeah, Melody is ungodly bulky. I do understand why people think she's the best unit in the game, but I'd argue she isn't, just because she doesn't have the availability to be best unit material. So that's just in my opinion. It really depends on how much you value availability. But I just think if you're not available at all for the first half of the game, probably not the best unit, unless you just auto win the second half. So I think Marcus or Rutger is probably the best in the game. You can debate me on that. Though I'd win, because I have 500 IQ, as you can see from me doing this run. That makes me want to, like, gouge my eyeballs out. My plan would be, if boars can't kill him, I'd send Shauna off to die. But boars is a Chad. I could still dance, so 2 hits would also do the job. But I think it's likelier, it's about as likely for us to kill him as it would be to not, so we did get a little lucky there. Here I just buy some torches for future annoying maps like E1X comes to mind. And then I decide to get the silver blade, because why not? Can sell it. It's probably decent money. Probably decent. Yeah, 18 turns. But geez, that was an experience. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.